Well, at various forums, when I have been there, I have seen people referring to Vedanta as a system of philosophy, as a school of thought, as something speculative. Traditionally, we look Vedanta as a pramana, a means of knowledge. Why do I need Vedanta as a means of knowledge? There are a lot of things that I can figure out by the pramanas I have. And again, the word pramana can be a problem for many people. It is very often translated as authority, which is a misnomer. Pramakaranam pramanam. Something that gives me knowledge, a means of knowing, is called pramana. Like perception is a means of knowing. Form, color, sight, sound, touch, taste, all these are known through perception. Then from the data that I have from perception, I have inference, both inductive and deductive logic. I have comparisons. Vedanta also brings in non-cognition or cognition of things that don't exist here. By all these means, we can figure out a lot of things that is there in the world. In fact, all branches of knowledge, whether it is science or economics or psychology or any other, has developed by using these means. Now, why have we used these means of knowledge? To lead a more fulfilling life, to get what I want, to satisfy my desires, including the desire for knowledge. Now, here is where the sixth pramana, known as Shabda, the Veda, comes into the picture. Now, why should I be interested in it? What does an ancient literature, supposed to be more than 6,000 years old, have to offer me when I can figure out so many things for myself? Now, the Veda is supposed to tell me about things, about issues, which I cannot figure out using the pramanas, the means of knowledge at my disposal. Which brings a very interesting fact. Is it based on faith? Would be if we are talking about things after life. If the Veda was talking about things that I can verify here, then it is no more mere faith. Like supposing the Veda say, hey, do this and some of your needs will be fulfilled. Well, I can always try it out and see if it works. If it works, it is no more mere faith. Which brings us to a question, what do human beings need? The Veda also is in harmony with what we need. Look at it. All of us have a need to feel safe, a sense of security. We need that. We need to have a certain amount of joy and fulfillment in our life, a certain sense of happiness. The Veda calls these two as artha and kama, securities and pleasures or joys in life. This is common to all of us, irrespective of our culture, our race, our condition, our nationality. This is common. There is also another need which the Veda recognizes and addresses, which is called as dharma. Dharma has got various aspects and connotations. The most obvious one will be a life which is basically one of ethics and common law. Why? Because without this, a common law, a common sense of ethics, we will not be able to fulfill artha and kama, my sense of security and pleasures. If I am not sure that someone on the road is not going to shoot me down, how am I going to feel safe in the society? If I cannot be sure that in spite of an agreement, I am not going to be cheated, at least a basic trust that I will not be cheated by the people I am dealing with, how can I work for my joy or my fulfillment? Therefore, the Veda also talks about dharma, because all my securities and pleasures, my pursuit of security and pleasure can be fulfilled in a better manner only if there is some common sense ethics and the rule of law. This is one aspect of dharma. Now look at it. Therefore, the Veda gives me means for artha and kama, which is very much in keeping with our human needs. Therefore, we can pick and choose. I need not do it either. I want to make money, okay, start a business. In what way can my business be enhanced? So there are solutions given in the Veda to enhance my earning potential. If you are interested, do it. If you are not interested, fine. The Veda also deals with afterlife, because we are all concerned with life hereafter. We are also concerned with life hereafter. Therefore, that becomes another major concern of us. How is my life hereafter going to be? Veda deals with that aspect. But this is not dharma, artha and kama, a sense of right and wrong, a sense of ethics, to pursue my sense of security and pleasure. This is not the final topic of the Veda. Why? Because this is not the final end for a human being. If you really look at a human being, why do you want securities? Why do you want pleasures? Relationships, etc. You'll always find the answer is so that I can be more fulfilled as a person. I can enjoy a sense of fulfillment within me. That I want to be a fulfilled being is at the heart of human pursuit. This is talked about as moksha, freedom from any sense of lack, limitation, finitude that I have, and to discover myself as a fulfilled being. Now to discover the sense of fulfillment. This is what is presented as moksha in the last few chapters of the Veda, otherwise known as Vedanta or the Upanishads. Therefore, Vedanta basically is answering the question of moksha, or dealing with the need for moksha in human beings' life. Most of us don't recognize this. That is an issue. That we have this need for moksha, freedom from my lack of fulfillment, freedom from my sense of finitude, freedom from my sense of isolation, loneliness as a human being. Look at it, as a human being, the fact that I take myself as a human being itself makes me a finite entity, isolated from every other human being, disconnected from every other human being. This issue of isolation, lack, disconnectedness, finitude is answered, or is considered the problem, and the solution for that is given in Vedanta, the Upanishads. Therefore, this really speaking is a human need for everyone. It is not for any particular religion, culture, nationality. Human beings all over the world have this need, very often lying dormant, not recognized. Once recognized, you cannot but help trying to fulfill it. That is when you really come to Vedanta. Now, you may have noticed something very interesting. If Vedanta is another pramana, other than perception, inference, etc., then it will not be scientific. It need not be scientific, because science is based on inference, perception, comparison, etc. If Vedanta is another means like these but different from this, it will definitely not be scientific. Need not be scientific. It's important to see that. We have various disciplines of knowledge in this world which are very valid, but not a scientific model. Economics is not a science. So is psychology not a science. But a lot of scientific progress or scientific pursuits depends on economics. It's a valid branch of knowledge. Similarly, Vedanta, even though it's not scientific, is a valid means of knowledge. It is explained logically, not illogically. Therefore, it makes sense. So what does Vedanta deal with? There's only one question worth asking or answering in Vedanta, that is, who am I? Who is this person who is feeling the sense of lack, the sense of want? And it's a promise in Vedanta that once you really know yourself, you will find yourself as a fulfilled being, free from the sense of lack. That is the issue in Vedanta. That's what is being dealt with in Vedanta, which we will see in the next video.